distance in the scoreboard. It'd take an absolute miracle here for Robert Thornton to take a 2-0 lead.
Energy requires 64.
Looking at 64 to square this game up at one apiece. And he's going to get one dart at double 16 to do exactly that.
Game shot on the second leg.
And finds double 16 to level up at 1-1.
That's strength.
Game
the
up.
way in which he's been finishing this week, though, going to the board with 3 darts in hand, feels like one of the most certainties that we're going to get here this week. And when we take a look at the table, it's going to shape, it's going to form very, very quickly. And he's been on the stage, hasn't he? Pretty much all morning, Leonard Gates, just there on his own, practicing away, getting ready, getting used to it. Well,
140
to be paying off.
Energy requires 16.
Well, they say that practice makes perfect. And it's a perfect start for Leonard Gates.
Leonard Gates.
3-1 victory against Robert Thornton to kick off his day. He moves on to 14 points in the group. And now he has the opportunity to really stamp his authority on things as we head towards the business end of the group. A 91 average to start.
81. Andreas, you require 116.
But really has found a formula which at this present moment in time is just too much for Simon Whitlock. Tops for 116.
96.
Just below for a 2-0 lead. But if there's any player in this building, more than anybody else, you would say has got a chance at a 170 checkout, it is Simon Whitlock. And it's on. But it's not got.
23.
Not only you was believing that Andreas Harrison stood at the back of the stage nodding along. He thought it could have been a turning moment, a moment. Simon Whitlock could have got himself back into this game instead. Andreas Harrison confirms the breaker throw and puts himself fully in control now for a very much needed 2 points that would put him into second place.
He's got a lovely guide there for the treble now. Finds it double 8.
80.
The second opportunity he's had at a double 64 in the game, and it may well be the only opportunity he gets to save the match from here on in. Because Andreas Harrison looks at tops to wrap up a comprehensive 3-0 win to kickstart his day. Really good performance, average in excess of 90. Well, it doesn't look like the delay is doing too much to deter the players. Leonard Gates winning match 1 with an average in excess of 91, and Andreas Harrison there winning with an average of 90.18. When he's 3 sets to 0 down in the World Championship match, he'll forever feel he can find a way back into it. Just like he did against Jim McEwen at the Lakeside 3 years ago. But he's the fun one at this present moment in time, and he's got Steve Beaton breathing down his neck.
140. Steve, you require 82.
Might well be the only dart he gets 62. To the double to complete a leg in this match, 56. Because a miss there on tops has allowed Neil Duff to come back here for 56 to win it, and he hasn't missed a dart at a double to win a leg. 2 times he went for tops, 2 times he's hit it. Make it 3 times and make it 3-0 to Neil Duff, who has put a bitter blow into Steve Beaton's plans of winning this Group A. And once again in this building, Neil Duff is a winner against Steve Beaton. He seemingly has his number here.
The opportunity, didn't he? He got that free passage in the last one where Leonard Gates not able to get the job done at the end of the leg. Now Simon Whitlock
95.
not able to get the job done at the start of the leg, and instantly handing that advantage back to Leonard Gates. Gets off at the 10th time of asking. Has the damage already been done?
112.
Well, the fact is he's got away and then scored big. Gates got off quicker, but up until that point wasn't really applying any kind of scoring pressure. But if Whitlock can pile in something big here, there's still a competitive leg up on for the offing.
Had to be big. It had to be the biggest one of them all, you feel. It had to be a maximum.
43.
Comes up dry without a treble. 3, 4, 6, not an ideal leave either. A maximum now doesn't leave a finish, so Gates knows he's got plenty of time here.
60. $140. Leonard, you require 148. $58.
Gates leaves himself on 90 to break back and level up at 1-1.
$108.
Look at that, Max leaves himself on double 13. Gates may just get a dart at the ball here to level up, but he's not even going to get that because he strayed wide into the 5, and so
Simon, you
Whitlock once again getting a free pass in the leg.
Oh, it takes 10 darts to get in. You start writing the leg off, but that's the beauty of this format in a nutshell. Simon Whitlock cashes it in. Leonard Gates pondering. He'll be
double 16 for the match. 2-8. Doesn't seal it yet.
Leonard, you require 113.
Ironic, isn't it? Legs of which Leonard Gates has dominated, he's lost. Whitlock's dominated this one and hasn't crossed the line as of yet. Tops for Gates.
73.
Bent the wire, but that
Simon,
may well be the last dart he
106.
gets to miss as a double.
Simon,
7 to complete
16.
a leg. And so Whitlock will come back looking at double 8 to complete a 3-0 win. Well, that is how blocked that bed is. Whitlock moves across to the left-hand side and somehow finds a way through.
Simon Whitlock.
A kind deflection off of dart 2 and then in with dart 3, and it's a 3-0 win for Simon Whitlock. Leonard Gates might be smiling, but he'll be seething on the inside because the 2-point advantage that he had at the top of the group could well be whittled away, and suddenly everybody's back within touch of one another. Next up, Neil Duff and Robert Thornton.
140.
Oh, brilliant finish that from Thornton to leave himself on a
116.
single to double. Duff leaving himself on 116 to take out the opening leg. Treble 19 found to leave himself double top. Brilliant shot from Neil Duff. He really is in the mood today. Really good average in game 1, and he's kicked off this particular match of a ton plus checkout.
Game on.
A lot of people tend to
136.
get nervous in this situation. Robert Thornton seems to big it up.
Neil not truly settled, and it looks as if this is a game that's going to go by the by for him.
Robert, you require 93.
Thornton 93 for the match. He's got 6 darts from here. He may only need the 3 because he pins double 10 perfectly. So it's a 3-1 success, which puts him just a couple of points behind Leonard Gates. But if he is to make severe inroads, he's going to have to find some big victories over the course of the remainder of the session.
You require 107.
Beaton 107 to square this game up at 1 apiece. Treble 17 leads himself a dart to double 18 to level up superbly. An excellent finish for the Bonzadonis.
Require
Back in with a chance of winning this Group A.
Double 16. Now double 8. Harrison expects 42. It to go. He's got time. Has the Adonis, and he's going to need the extra 3 upon his return.
140.
Bit of urgency now for Steve Beaton.
Game shot.
But when he needed 2, he's
Steve
got.
Beaton.
And that's a big result for Steve Beaton. He was facing the mire at one point of potentially dropping into a Group C position. A puff on the cheek as he beats Andreas Harrison by 3 legs to 2. A game which had ebbs and flows.
Get more with Neil Duff in a bit of a tricky spot.
100.
May start down here, Neil Duff.
So Gates for the match, and he's got 6 more from 60 to get the job done. He'll move him on to 16 points. And it will put him in a healthy position ahead of 2 tough games to finish.
And the match, Leonard Gates.
Leonard Gates has broken the back of the first 3 games, but now he has 2 more tricky tasks if he is to complete his Group A quest. He has beaten Neil Duff by 3 legs to 2. So Simon Whitlock looking at 130 for the match. He had a poke at this in the previous leg. Is he going to get a look at 1 here? He's got the treble. He's found a second double 5 to win it in style.
125.
Just underneath.
Steve, you require
Talking of style.
148. $45. Simon, you require
Just chips
5.
on that one. Doesn't really bring it down too much. Simon Whitlock, for what would be a rare win here this week.
Double 2 to
Shot
dent
and the
Steve
match,
Beaton's hopes
Simon
of winning
Whitlock.
Group A. But it's a big win for Simon Whitlock because that now puts him in the persuasion in terms of qualifying for Group B. And it's advantage Leonard Gates now in terms of qualifying through to Saturday's final through this group. Much spell the end of any fleeting thoughts Thornton would have of winning this particular group.
125.
But it very much put Harrison in play when you consider that he has Leonard Gates to play in his next match.
And he's got the darts.
41. Andreas, you require
It's crucial in the
36.
better 7, even more so in the better 5.
And what did we say before as well? Leg difference could
Sean,
come
a
into
second
play. You may
leg.
need a
Andreas
big win
Harrison.
somewhere. He's a leg away from a perfect 3-0 here, which would just start to make things interesting
Third
in that
leg,
column
it's
as
Robert
well.
to throw first. Game on.
But now,
Fourth
just to
leg,
try
it's
and find a
Andreas to
little
throw
bit more on
first.
the Harrison
Game
darts. Harrison will just want to get in here. He won't care which dart or what score. Now he'll care about the score. Now he wants to drive home the advantage.
160.
Nobody has kicked off with more 160s at the beginning of a leg this week than Andreas Harrison. And now Thornton's treading the same path.
120.
Harsh, that little deflection there. Oh, hang on. That sat perfectly in the treble 19. Expectant.
133.
If anybody looks likely for 9 darter this week, it is Andreas Harrison.
Robert Thornton is
140.
digging deep. The bit between the teeth. He's fighting here. He knows he can still play a part in this group if he can win this game.
108.
But the problem is Andreas Harrison shutting up shop. 160, 133 max. On for potential 10 darter to bolt the door shut.
121. Andreas, you require 28.
Double 14 for nigh on perfect end. Double 7.
14. Robert, you require 120.
120. Well, that's the worst first dart. Didn't even give him a sniff for dart 2. And so Harrison will come back looking at double 7 to complete a 3-1
28.
victory.
Andreas, you require
What a display.
14.
What a finish this has been from Andreas Harrison. Average just under 92.
Game shot
And a
the
comprehensive
match. Andreas
victory over the
Harrison.
Fawn, which puts him a couple points off Leonard Gates at the top of the table. And it is the American that he has to play next. Harrison 3, Thornton 1. And when we return on the other side of these commercial messages, we're going to watch Neil Duff take on Simon Whitlock as we marvel over those magnificent match statistics.
Simon, you require 76.
He was 2-0 behind in this contest, and now he has the opportunity to win it. It's going to be a match Duff, providing he stays straight on the 16. Duff almost expectant of this to go, but the double 16 leads double 12. Duff wants to look away, but he can't help himself but to see
Game
Simon
shot
Whitlock
and the
pin
match.
that double
Simon
12
Whitlock.
to seal a 3-2 win. Probably a result which sums up Neil Duff's week so far. Was 2-0 to the good. He was looking all right. But then Simon Whitlock reels off 3 on the spin to come back from 2-0 behind for the second time this week. Coming up.
It's Leonard to throw first. Game on.
Just based on legs difference, Leonard Gates is in terms of
No
closest
score.
challenger is Andreas Harrison. So if he can win this game, he will feel like he's almost there. But Harrison will keep him guessing throughout the duration of this match.
105. $28.
Off eventually, but it's taken Leonard a few opportunities in both the legs in this match to get up and running. And Andreas just beginning to find his groove.
He 59.
He is peppering that treble.
108.
Back-to-back 180s.
And once again, on a 10-dart leg, Andreas Harrison nearly did this in his last game.
81. Andreas,
He's
you
going
require
through the
36.
gears.
Double 18. 10
Games on the
darter,
second
Andreas
leg,
Harrison.
Andreas Harrison.
So this is for qualification for Leonard Gates. How quickly things can change. But that opportunity has come to pass. And so Harrison,
40.
double top to complete a 3-2 win. That's blocked. Has to find something left side.
No score.
That was in, but for the dart above.
36.
And so Gates has another group winning opportunity here on double 18.
Game shot.
Leonard
and the
Gates
match.
has
Leonard
done
Gates.
enough. Because Steve Beaton can only get to 18 points and +6 and 33 legs difference, and Leonard Gates has a better head-to-head to Steve Beaton, the American has progressed his way through to the final on Saturday evening. Gates free. He's gonna get a match dart. It's gonna be at tops.
94. Steve, you require 32.
Beaton to extend it.
No score.
Well, Thornton's got a
Robert, you
chance to wrap it
require
up
20.
here and now. Double 10. Chasing fives.
Game shot.
And found
and
with the last
match.
dart in
Robert
hand.
Thornton.
And Robert Thornton beats Steve Beaton by 3 legs to 1. And there's now a real prospect to Steve Beaton being put into Group C, because he's lost that game to Robert Thornton. And he... Now then. Would have been some way to
128.
have taken out
Do
the
you
double
require
top.
107.
Oh,
shot on the
punish to
second
the
leg.
hill.
Milder.
The only mistake Andreas Harrison made in that leg was missing tops of the 148. Duff duty punishes.
Third
The
leg,
107
it's
goes
Andreas
to
to
lead
go first.
2-0.
Game on.
Duff cannot get. And so Harrison will come back for this double 7-2 complete.
52. Andreas, you require 14.
3-2. Victory over the Duff
Game
man.
shot and the match.
And it's got.
Andreas Harrison.
And it's a win for Andreas Harrison to round off his campaign. We'll see him in the night session over the next couple of days. Neil Duff will be in Group C after another disappointing campaign. That, the tail of the tape. After the break, Thornton Whitlock.
We will
83.
see.
Robert, you require 86.
So, for the match and for Group B, double 16.
Game
Robert
shot
Thornton's
and the
going to be
match.
playing the night
Robert
session.
Thornton.
He beat Simon Whitlock by 3 legs to 1, and it's going to be Steve Beaton that's going to be playing in Group C. Simon Whitlock's going to join him. Neil Duff's going to join him. But Thornton and Harrison will both be in Group B tomorrow night. We know everything now. We've got one more game to go, and it's Leonard Gates and Steve Beaton to play it.
Not the intended start, but it's a start. That's the beauty of the
130.
non-nominated doubles. Some of your local leagues, you've got to nominate what it is, so you can't have that slip to the side. No slip here for Leonard Gates. A perfect start to the leg.
$134.
Well, it was Steve Beaton who went 6 in the previous match that he played. Is Leonard Gates going to treat us to a moment of perfection himself?
140.
Dart 6 goes a begging, just flick the flight.
Well, everything magical that's happened on the stage so far, Leonard Gates has been on the stage
70.
for it. 100 average on Monday went the way of Leonard Gates against Simon Whitlock. 100 average on Tuesday went the way of Robert Thornton against Leonard Gates.
137.
So it would be quite fitting to have Leonard
Steve
Gates on
require
stage for
167.
another magical moment. Well, it's quite magical darts, isn't it? Down to 64 after 9 in
42.
double start
Manager
against the
requires
throw. That
64.
is brilliant. From Leonard Gates, could be an 11 darter. It is.
Game shot on the 4th flag, Leonard Gates.
We're sort of 10. It's the bullseye for Gates.
70.
It doesn't go, and so Steve
requires
Beaton
32.
looks at double 16 to wrap this matchup and to wrap this group up. It's one left in his hand.
Game shot and the match, Steve Beaton.
Well, it's going to be Group C in the end for Steve Beaton, but he finishes with a win against Leonard Gates, who has gone on to win Group A. It's a 3-2 win for the Bonds Adonis, but it's Leonard Gates that's won the group. Analysis for myself and Matthew Edgar to come next. Bound to be a blockbuster Saturday night here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. The Group A action here at Double Trouble 3 has come to a close, and before the break, it was Steve Beaton around of his campaign with a win, but it is a victorious campaign for Leonard Gates. He is the winner of Group A. He wins it by 2 points. Incredibly, 16 points for Steve Beaton, and still he could only get a Group C position, one of the tightest groups I think we've ever seen here at the Super Series. But it is